devotee. So if
I
you want,
don't
I can read the verses and that purpose.
Okay. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Hare Krishna, everybody. As we are waiting for Mataji, we can start reading the verse and the translation. And as soon as she joins in, we can give the mic to her. So we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 2, Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is the process of creation. And the text for today is text 9 and text 10. So do I have any volunteers to read the text 9?
I can try, Mataji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Om
Krishna.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim. Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayasya Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavate Uttam Stokir Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we start with text 9. Yatha gunamstu prakriter yugapat karamaso vapiva vibharati bhurisha svakaha kurvam karmani janmabhihi. So shall we do the word to word, Mataji?
Mataji, if you can repeat it once line, then we can recite it with after you. So the first line and then we recite. So we can practice asana.
Verse?
Yeah. Yatha gunam.
Yatha gunamstu prakriter.
Yatha gunamstu prakritar.
Yugapat kramaso vapiva.
Yugapata karma sopiva.
Vibharati bhurusastekaha.
Vibharti purushastvayeka.
Kurvan karmani janmabhihi.
Kurvam Janmabhi.
Anyone want to try?
Or we can move on to word and then we can
Okay.
even
Okay. Yatha, as they are.
yatha,
Guna-
as they are.
Okay.
Gunan.
Gunan, the modes of.
Gunan, the modes of.
To, but.
Tu, but.
Prakritehe, of the
Prakriti,
material energy.
of the material energy.
Yugapat,
Yugapat,
simultaneously.
simultaneously.
Kramasaha,
Kramasaha,
gradually.
gradually.
Api, also.
Api, also.
Va, either.
Va, either.
Vibharti, maintains.
Vibharti, maintains.
Purushaha, many forms.
Purushaha, many forms.
To, but.
Tu, but.
Ekaha, the supreme one.
Ekaha, the supreme one.
Kurvan, acting.
Kuruvan, acting.
Karmani, activities.
Karmani, activities.
Janmabhihi, by incarnations.
Janma bhihi, by incarnations.
Okay. Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead is one. Whenever he alone acts, whether he alone acts with the modes of material nature or simultaneously expands in many forms or expands consecutively to direct the modes of nature. So shall we move to 10?
Yes, Mataji, we can move to 10. Unless somebody else wants to read the text. I think Lakshmi Mataji had switched on her mic. And then I just would like to ask Arya Govind Prabhu, has Radhika Kasturi Mataji contacted you? Because I don't have, she's not contacted me. So.
No, Mataji, I told her the verse numbers, the ones we decided. After that, she has not contacted me. But
Okay,
she
so
usually comes, yeah.
Yeah, she'll be a little late, but it's okay. We can continue. We have lots to read today. So, Lakshmi Mataji, would you like to read the next text, text 10? Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, then even read one line by line so we can repeat after you.
Okay, Mataji. I will try, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Verse
Hare Krishna.
2.4.10. Visitam netam me brabhitu bhagavan yata shabdhe brahmani nisnataha parasimscha bhavan kalu visikit sitam netam me
Vikitsitam etam
brabhitu bhagavan yata
Bravitu Bhagavan Yatha
Shabdhe Brahmani Nisnataha
Shabde Brahmani Nishnatha
Parasmimscha Bhavan Kalu
Parasmin Bhavan Khalu.
Mataji, continue. You can read
word to
the
word
word
meaning.
translation and purport, and you can stop whenever.
Sure.
Vikikshitam,
Visitam, doubtful inquiry.
doubtful inquiry.
Etat, this.
Etat,
This.
Me, of me.
Me, of me.
Bravitu, just clear up.
Bravitu, just clear up.
Bhagavan, powerful like the Lord.
Bhagavan, powerful
like the Lord.
Yatha, as much as.
Yatha, as much as.
Shabdhe, sound transcendental.
Shabde,
sound transcendental.
Brahmani, Vedic literature.
Brahmani, Vedic literature.
Nisnataha, fully realized.
Nishnataha, fully realized.
Parasmin, in transcendence.
Parasmin, in transcendence.
Cha also.
Cha
also.
also.
Bhavan, your good self.
Bhavan, your good self.
Your good self.
Kalu, as a matter of fact.
Kalu, as a matter of
As a
fact.
matter of fact.
Translation and purport given by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation.
Mataji has joined, right?
Kindly,
Let's just do the translation, then we hand over to Mataji.
kindly clear up all these doubtful inquiries, because you are not only vastly learned in the Vedic literatures and self-realized in transcendence, but are also a great devotee of the Lord and are therefore as good as the personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Radhika Mataji. Danvat Pranam. Please accept our humble obeisances on behalf of everybody who have joined the group and are about to join. Mataji, Hare Krishna. You are muted. Hare Krishna, Radhika Mataji.
Sorry, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. How are you, Mataji?
I'm doing good, Mataji. Long time no see, but very, very good to have your darshan. Really fortunate, Mataji. Thank you so much. I'm having some issues. I'm not able to turn on. Make sure that the camera is powered on and connected to your computer, it says. Does anybody know how to take care of that issue?
No,
I'm trying to
Mataji.
start the video, but I'm.
But at least we can hear you, Mataji.
I know it would have been better if I could connect on the video. Let me see if I
Join
could
with
connect.
another device. You want to join with another device?
Yeah, I'm
Mataji?
thinking I'll join with the phone and then I'll mute my. Yeah, let me try. 1 minute, Mataji.
Okay. Till then, devotees, should we read the purport or should we just chant?
Recording in
Yes,
progress.
Okay, Mataji has just joined with another device, so maybe we'll be able to see her. Yes, we can see you. Jai, Jai. Thank you so much, Mataji.
So sorry, Mataji. I'm getting. Okay, let me do one thing. I'm getting some echo here. Yeah. Okay.
Mataji, we can't hear you.
You should be able to hear me, right?
Yeah,
Mataji?
yeah. Now we can hear you. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. Let's.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mataji. Thank you for your association. I have personally missed your association a lot.
Yes, Mataji. Same to you.
There is a lot of echo. Mataji, you can turn the other device off, the other one that you had, maybe the computer, because this one we can hear and see you.
I turned off everything there. All right.
Okay, now we are fine. Now we are fine.
Sorry. Om
It's okay.
Adhyanathimiradasya Shalakaya Chakshurumilikam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashaita Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayane Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. All right, dear devotees, let's get started with our second canto. And today we are going to enter into the fourth chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So second canto, fourth chapter is what we are going to be seeing today. And dear devotees, as as we always do, we would try to do the fourth chapter and see what has happened so far, and then get started there. Let me get into the fourth chapter now. So we will do a quick recap of what has happened, and then we will get into the fourth chapter. All right. So now, so the change of heart, right? Sukadev Goswami, if you look at the previous chapter, we have this answer to Parikshit Maharaj's question about what is the topmost goal of life and what is the means to attain that goal. Actually, Shaunakadi rishis felt that they had fear, probably because Sukadev Goswami had just summarized the teachings. Suta Goswami just summarized the teachings of Sukadev Goswami and very briefly presented to them. This is what was their feeling. And but they were very eager to hear about the whole conversation that has happened between Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami. So they actually tried to inspire Suta Goswami to speak. So they're asking, oh, what is the whole conversation that this Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami had? So they are trying to inspire Suta Goswami to speak. So they asked, what else did Parikshit Maharaj ask Sukadev Goswami after he heard this? And you should definitely tell us, because you are an expert and we are very, very eager to hear the subject matter. We are very, very eager. What did they both speak? I hope you did not present us the subject matter in a brief way. No, we want the whole thing. This is what is our interest. So this, obviously, we should understand that they asked, what else did Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami spoke? So they were like, then what did Parikshit Maharaj ask after Sukadev Goswami spoke? And you should definitely tell us, because you are an expert in the subject matter. And you, and in the association of exalted devotees, this is the subject matter we need to hear. Krishna Katha is the subject matter we need to hear in the association of exalted devotees. So, can you please describe like that if asking our dear Sita Goswami? Okay, and then now comes the point where we were discussing about last class, thing, where we understood that okay, actually, we are convinced that if our life is not utilized in Krishna consciousness, then what is going to happen to us? Our life is wasted. Because if we are not hearing Krishna Katha, then our life is definitely wasted. So we have understood that, see, like how there is a rising of the sun with every rising and setting takes away the life of a person who's not interested in discussing Krishna Katha. Whereas, see, that is what happens, right? When the sun rises and sun sets, the life of a person is taken away for those who are not engaged in Krishna consciousness. It's just a wasted life, right? And how about a person, whereas the person who's engaged in bhakti, that is chanting and doing kirtan of the glories of the holy names of the Lord, for that person, how is his life utilized? He's hearing and discussing Krishna Katha. He's chanting the glories of the holy names of the Lord. So what is happening to him? He is coming a step closer to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So life is not wasted for him. He's utilizing his time in a very, very proper way. Okay, this is the difference we saw. And therefore, one should not think that a long life, a very long life full of vitality or a lot of opportunities for enjoyment is a success. No, one should not think like that. Because there are other species also who can do much better with a longer life and good vitality. Right? They can do much better. As the Shastras say, the human form of life, the prime purpose of the human form of life is Bhagavata Dharma. Depending on one's qualification, one should obviously follow either Varnashrama Dharma and gradually elevate to Bhagavata Dharma, or continuously do Bhagavata Dharma. Otherwise, what is this life? This life is just a waste of time. It becomes an animalistic life. Engaged in becoming into doing Krishna consciousness, that is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, all that if you are not doing, then our life is wasted. It's just compared to that of an animalistic life. Nothing more than that. This is what we saw last class. And such a person who lives an animalistic life, what is his years compared to? His years are compared to that of a snake holds. And such a person, who lives this kind of life is glorified by whom? They are glorified by animalistic people only. Nobody else will glorify him. Who doesn't hear, his ear is compared to that of a snake hole. And who will glorify such persons? The only animalistic kind of people will glorify such persons. And if his head is not going down to the lotus feet of the Lord, then what happens? He is going to be sunk in the ocean of samsara. And the hands of such a person, which may be engaged in seemingly pious activities by offering oblations to the demigods and Pitrus, even if they're going to offer, accepted. If they don't have the feeling of Achyuta Bhava, even the demigods are not going to accept it, because they don't know who the Supreme, the demigods are the limbs of the Supreme Lord. If they don't understand the fact that the demigods are the servants of the Supreme Lord, then even the demigods are not going to accept the food that is given by a so-called pious person. Okay, and his eyes, which may look very, very beautiful. Oh yeah, he has a big, beautiful eyes. It's as good as the eyes of a peacock feather. But is it going to serve the purpose? No. The real purpose of the eyes is to perfect one's life by taking the darshan of the deity forms of the Lord. Dear devotees, I was just remembering this fact while I was chanting the glories of the holy names of the Lord. Why am I not able to look at the deities for a long, long time? Why am I just taking off? I'm just looking at them for a second or a minute or 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, I'm exhausted. I'm just not able to relish the beauty of the Lord. Why? Because our eyes is filled with contamination, dear devotees. My eyes, I'm not able to see the Lord or have darshan of the Lord for a long time, or continuously be able to enjoy each and every limb of the Lord, how he's beautiful, how he's having this golden rings, what color he's wearing, this, that, going into the minute details and enjoying the detailed form of the Lord is something that we need to aspire for, right? Just not, okay, the temple formality is done, I'm good, I had the reciprocation or love with the Lord, and we are done, 5 minutes, job done. Where is the prasadam center? Let me go and have prasadam, right? This mentality, again, we have to get inspiration from the pure devotees of the Lord, how they relish the Lord. One of the instances that I was able to remember and correlate with this was, anyways, I was never planning to say this, but just suddenly stuck to me. His Holiness Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj, it looks like, in the lecture, he was telling, when he was praying, or if somebody is going to pray to the Lord, say, for example, somebody is asked for some prayers, okay? I'm not feeling well, or whatever that prayer is. When somebody is praying for the Lord, that prayer should actually communicate that message to the Lord. That means that prayer should have the required bhava, whatever feeling is required to get that prayer to the Lord has to be there, so that that person, is able to see the immediate effect of the prayers as soon as this devotee prays. So this is what Maharaj was telling. He just mentioned that our mood, our prayer, our bhav should be in such a way that when we do the prayers, it should communicate that message to the Lord. The intention has to be very clear to the Lord, and that immediate reflection will happen from the Lord. He will reciprocate to you according to the way with which you pray. Again, this is what is the point, dear devotees. So, in order to communicate to the Lord with the devotion, can it come to everybody? It's very hard, isn't it? To communicate, with the Lord is not easy. Every day we chant, every day everybody is doing the ritualistic process. Like a ritual, we are doing the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. So this is where our mood should come. every name of the Lord should have that bhav. How I'm going to serve him more and more and more. How I'm going to enjoy and relish his deity form more and more. One day I want to see him personally. One day I want to serve all the associates of the Lord personally. And, in this material world, how I can be of service to Vaishnavas, how I can improve my service every day. This aspiration should be there when we are chanting the holy names of the Lord. How the eagerness has to be there. For that, we have to be engaged continuously to understanding the glories of the holy names of the Lord, understanding glories of Krishna. It's unlimited, right? This Bhagavatam is communicating. This Bhagavatam is actually teaching a beautiful subject matter of love to Krishna. Dear devotees, I pray that we are able to get that sincerity. Everybody, including me, should get this bhav and come closer to the lotus feet of the Lord. Of course, this was totally out of topic, but anyways, I thought I should communicate this to all of you since I was contemplating this while I was chanting the names of the Lord. Okay, so the real purpose of the life of this eyes is to perfect one's life by taking the darshan of the deity form of the Lord. And the feet of such a person, what is the feet? The purpose of the feet is to visit the temple or the holy places where Supreme Lord has performed his pastimes. So this is what a devotee should be aspiring for. And such a person, who doesn't do all these things is just an inconvenience to the devotees. The devotees are going to be terrorized by such people. That's all. And then when it comes to the nose, right? The smell of tulasi, that is the tulsi leaves are offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. And if you're not interested in smelling the tulsi, you're just considered to be like that of a dead corpse, nothing more than a dead corpse. And finally, the heart of the person, even though one may externally show the symptoms of emotions like tears flowing from the eyes, hair standing, but if genuine symptoms of bhava does not manifest, then the person is considered to be steel-framed heart. As you all know, dear devotees, in bhava stage, the pure devotee is experiencing a lot of symptoms. There are some 9 symptoms that Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu elaborates on. And if the person is just faking it up, of course, he just has a steel-framed heart. It's not a true symptom. So therefore, my dear Sutta Goswami, we understand the importance of practicing bhakti. We very well understand. We understand the importance of hearing Krishna Katha also. Hearing from such an exalted personality like yourself, we understand that. This is the conversation that Shaunakadi Rishis are having with Sutta Goswami. So kindly narrate, the whole conversation, not just, the summary. We want to be very, very clear with you, okay? We want the whole thing, whole conversation that has happened between our dear Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami. And you know what? They're very, very, very eager to listen to the subject matter. So please don't disappoint us. So this is where the 3rd chapter stopped. This is where we paused the 3rd chapter. Now we are entering into the 4th chapter, dear devotees. So this was just a recap of what we saw in the 3rd chapter. And by having this connection, I'm sure your interest to Bhagavatam will increase. If we don't have this connection, right, you are going to miss on a lot of nuances that is happening between our, dear devotees in Bhagavatam. Anyways, Sutta Goswami is going to answer these questions of Shaunakadi Rishis. What further conversation happened between our dear Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami? That is what is 4th chapter. And 4th chapter, Srila Prabhupada interestingly has titled this chapter The Process of Creation. So the process of creation, one might wonder, what is this got to do with our Shaunakadi Rishi's questions to Sutta Goswami? What is it? And even though Sukadev Goswami does not answer the question in the chapter, he offers prayers to seek some empowerment to speak the subject matter, right? Sutta Goswami is now going to offer prayers to get some empowerment. We cannot speak Krishna Katha even if we desire to, dear devotees. That empowerment has to come. That desire has to be there within the heart for us to be able to speak Srimad Bhagavatam and communicate the intended message of Prabhupada and our Acharyas. This is very important. That's why each and every time our dear devotees in the Bhagavatam, they get the empowerment. They get the empowerment. They pray for it with such feelings. That is the potency of the prayers. Everybody can pray. Oh Krishna, I want this, I want that. Okay, is Krishna going to fulfill? What is your bhav? What is your mood? What is your intention? How much love you have towards the Lord? For why you are asking what you are asking? All this will be clearly known to the Lord because the Lord is already in your heart. So that bhav cannot be faked. So now our Sutta Goswami is getting that empowerment to speak on the subject matter. So now Prabhupada titles this chapter Process of Creation, whereas Sukadev Goswami glorifies the Lord. Again, Srila Prabhupada, previous chapter, he named the chapter as titled Pure Devotional Service because there were sentiments expressed by Shaunakadi Rishis. There were sentiments of pure devotion that were expressed by the Shaunakadi Rishis, and hence that title was Pure Devotional Service, the change of heart. Because that was the sort of sentiment that the Shaunakadi Rishis expressed in the second part of the chapter. As we understood, they wanted to know the whole thing, conversation. So this shows that there is a sentiment of pure devotion, the change of heart that has happened in them, because they are karmakandi people who were used to doing karmakanda rituals, but now their actions are changing after hearing from Sutta Goswami. So that is why Prabhupada named the chapter based on the second part, that is the sentiments of Shaunakadi Rishis. We're seeing the changing of the sentiments of Shaunakadi Rishis, he titled as that. Now, Prabhupada titles this as the process of creation because obviously we are going to hear these questions of the process of creation. So that is why Srila Prabhupada is naming that chapter like that. Now, the first verse. Sutta Goswami, he's saying, hearing the words of Sukadeva, by which he could discern the truth about the soul, Parikshit concentrated the mind, which was always thinking of Krishna. Again, dear devotees, we are going through Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura's commentary. Okay, so thus far you would have learned what Srila Prabhupada's commentary is, and please note these are all coming from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. Okay, so there are no surprises for you. Now, Sutta Goswami is answering the question asked by Parikshit. Sukadev Goswami is answering the question asked by Parikshit Maharaj. Hearing the words of Sukadev Goswami, what is happening? He's hearing the words of Sukha, by which he could discern the truth about the soul. Parikshit concentrated the mind, which was always thinking about Krishna. So this is the point. So we need to understand a very, very important point. Now, the son of Uttara, Parikshit Maharaj, he concentrated his mind, which was always thinking about Krishna. So, if you explain this verse, as if Sukadev Goswami spoke, Parikshit Maharaj fixed his mind on Krishna. So then what it would indicate? That means prior to hearing from Sukadev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj was not fixed on Krishna. This is, if we were to say, okay, after hearing from Sukadev Goswami, our son of Uttara, Parikshit Maharaj, he started to fix his mind on Krishna. If somebody were to interpret this verse like this would indicate, what it would indicate? Prior to hearing the words of Sukadev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj's mind was not fixed on Krishna. But that is not true. He is a perfected devotee, irrespective of whether Parikshit Maharaj would have met Sukadev Goswami or not. He was a perfected devotee only. So therefore it is mentioned, Krishna Satin. His mind is always fixed on Krishna. But he concentrated his mind still further to consider what Sukadev Goswami had spoken. Are you able to understand this point, dear devotees? A very important distinction is brought out by our Acharya to help us understand the point that our dear Parikshit Maharaj is always a pure devotee of the Lord. irrespective of whether he has spoken to Sukadev Goswami or not, he is this perfected pure devotee. But here it is mentioned that he concentrated his mind further to consider what Sukadev Goswami had spoken. So, especially if you see Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura's purport, he will explain in such a way that the reader will never misunderstand. He will leave no scope for misunderstanding either Parikshit Maharaj or Sukadev Goswami or any of the personalities for that matter. He is a Rasik devotee. He is full of Rasik Rasa in his heart. Each and every devotee's Rasa is enjoyed by this Acharya. That is how it is coming out in the form of a commentary for us. So, even though this is the point that we need to understand, that it is natural for a devotee to translate this verse like this, right? Hearing the words of Sukadev Goswami, through which one can discern the truth about the soul, he fixed his mind on Krishna with chastity. This is how naturally a person will interpret this verse. So this could be a very close explanation to this verse. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura explains that hearing the words of Sukadev Goswami, by which one could discern the truth about the soul, Parikshit Maharaj, he concentrated his mind, which is Krishneshati, always thinking about Krishna. So the nuances to this is very important because it's a very subtle thing. Sukadev Goswami, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura is very, very attentive to details because the reader should not lose respect to the person. The reader should not lose respect to the personalities like whom? Sukadev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj, and he's so very careful in interpreting the verse to us. So he says, Sukadev Goswami, being asked by Parikshit Maharaj, describes the creation through the conversation of Brahma and Narada after offering the respects to the Guru, to his Guru. So this is important. Hearing the words from which one could discern the truth about the soul, he particularly concentrated his mind, which was always thinking about Krishna. Why? Because why it was always thinking about Krishna? Because he was son of Uttara, right? How can the son of Uttara not be constantly thinking about Lord Krishna? Right? From the time Krishna entered the womb, he remembered Krishna. Satimati, he was never deviated. He never deviated his mind like that. So this is how he brings a very classic Vaishnava commentary to help us understand that this verse directly says what it says, that our Parikshit Maharaj always concentrating on Krishna only, always his mind is engaged in thinking about Krishna only. And he further concentrated his mind to see what Sukadev Goswami has to say. This is the point. This is how he translates the verse number 1. Okay, and now verse number 2. I don't know what is the time because I'm not using my because this is like we have 15 minutes. Okay, because my camera is slanted. I don't know where I'm seeing my position is, but yeah, it's weird. I don't have my timer with me. Maybe dear devotees help me to pause wherever you need me to. And Induleka Mataji, I think today I'm running really out of time. So next week, Mataji, we'll start with your verse and then go forward, okay? I don't want to delay it any further. I'm so sorry.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Mataji, join the class today. I think I've sent you also. It will be 12 o'clock our time.
Yeah.
8 p.m. 8 p.m. Then we can discuss there.
Okay. So Mataji, today also I'm going out, but I'm going to the temple today. But if possible, I will join. Otherwise, next week, whatever Mataji, as I promise, I'll do that.
It's okay. It's only for half an hour. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Sure, Mataji. Okay. Hare. All right. The next
Hare
verse.
Krishna, Mataji, I will leave at 9 and Arya Govind Prabhu will continue because of the temple opening. I have the temple president of Nairobi in my house right now. So,
Oh no.
So
please take care of him.
Yeah. So then I'll leave, but Arya Govind Prabhu can continue.
Okay. All right. Sure. So anyways, I'll stop in 15 minutes. Is that going to be okay?
Yes, I've asked his permission. He's talking to my husband, so.
Oh, please go
he
ahead,
can have-
don't be pressured because you can listen to the recording later. All right. I know you, I always see your enthusiastic face and I get inspired. So thanks for that. Really inspiring devotees through your video, because when I see some reaction coming from that other end, I really feel motivated to express even further. So thank you for that, Mataji. Anyways, the second verse, he's saying he completely gave up attachment to his body, wife, son, house, animals, wealth, friends, kingdom, which is constant and strong in others. So, after hearing Sukadev Goswami, our Parikshit Maharaj, what did he do? He gave up attachment which was deep rooted in his heart. This is what a translation, a person who translates will say, right? And what sort of attachment he's leaving? His attachment towards his body, his wife, his house, his animals, wealth, friends, and kingdom. So, which means hearing from Sukadev Goswami only kind of helped him to remove his deep-rooted attachment that Parikshit Maharaj had towards his own body, family, friends, and all of that. This is the obvious explanation of this verse. But our Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti is saying, no, this is not what it is. Please pause here and understand. He completely gave up the attachment to his wife, sons, house, animals, wealth, friends, which is constant and strong in others. So this attachment, which is constant and strong in others, that he gave up, which means he did not have attachment to any of these things. But these things are commonly, these things are commonly commonly felt by all of them, right? The people who have a position of a king, what would they normally do? They would have attachment to his body because he's a king. He has so many things that he can do under his control. So that attachment to the body automatically comes. Then attachment to wife, son, etc. will be seen in the king naturally. This is what we see in today's world. But the explanation is given such a way that our Parikshit Maharaj, he did not have attachment to the things that are normally attached, that people get normally attached to if he was a king. But he is not that kind of person. Even though he is a king, amidst all of this, he was not at all attached. And what he did now was that he just externally gave up those things. That's all. Only a person who's already detached can just leave that kind of opulence or wife's attachment or son's attachment immediately. Otherwise, if a situation were to come, can I leave? Just say, no, I can leave everything and go. No, because I'm strongly attached to certain things. I'm strongly attached to my body. I'm strongly attached to my son, my family, my relatives. I'll not be in a position to leave. But in the case of our Parikshit Maharaj, he was not attached to these things. And now what he did was he just externally gave up those things. Okay, that is what is this verse saying. This is the explanation that is given by our dear Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. It helps us to maintain what? It helps us to maintain a high regard for our Parikshit Maharaj. Otherwise, the conversation, there's no much transcendental value to these questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj. He himself was very attached at heart. So the heart of the Vaishnava is revealed here. How he is very careful. How our Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura Acharya is very, very careful that our Parikshit Maharaj should not be misunderstood even for a moment. Therefore, he gives the explanation that, okay, ordinary people will think, yes, he has attachment and now he hears Sukadev Goswami and after which his attachment is going to go away. This is what a person will think. But now he's helping us understand Parikshit Maharaj is not that kind of person. He doesn't have attachment for these things, even though king would normally have attachment to the things so-called, wife and body and everything. He is not that kind of person. He just is externally giving that up now. whatever he has in terms of possessions, he's just externally giving them up. So this is how he explains. And then Sukadev goes, our Sutta Goswami is continuing. So far you are clear, dear devotees. We had 2 verses where we discussed the glories of our dear Parikshit Maharaj. How Parikshit Maharaj, his mind was always on Krishna. The second point is, he just gave up these external things. I mean, he was not attached to wife, relatives, friends, and so on and so forth, and his body. What he did now is that he externally gave it up. And this is how he helps us to understand the position of our Parikshit Maharaj. Now, what is the question the Shaunakadi rishis have asked Sutta Goswami? Please narrate the conversation that has happened between our dear Sukadev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. How can Parikshit Maharaj ask the same question to Sukadev Goswami? What conversation had happened between Sukadev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj? How now it is being posed here that the translation says, "Oh great devotees, the intelligent Parikshit, full of faith, is hearing Krishna's activities, ask the question to Sukadev Goswami, which you have asked me." Which you have asked me means what here? Which means the Shaunakadi rishis have asked the same question to Sukadev Goswami. That is what it means. Are you able to understand this point, dear devotees? So here in a conversation, we are seeing the Shaunakadi rishis are asking Sutta Goswami to tell what further conversation happened between our Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami. Now, our Sutta Goswami is answering that question to say, oh, you know what? The conversation, the Parikshit Maharaj asked the same questions that were asked by you, Shaunakadi rishis, to me. This was the, this is how he is connecting. So now, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakura, our Acharya, is going to help us clarify this point. What you have asked refers to the request made by you in the last chapter. Please tell us everything which is related to Krishna. This was the point that you brought about in the last chapter. Please tell us anything that is related to Krishna. Because in the previous chapter, you told definitely topics relating to Krishna have been discussed between exalted devotees like Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami. So therefore, please narrate the topics that have been discussed in the company of exalted devotees like Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami. Please describe these topics. This was the request that the Shaunakadi rishis have made to Sutta Goswami. So the same request Parikshit Maharaj also made to Sukadev Goswami. This is expressed in this verse. That is how our acharyas clarify. Where every rising and setting of a sun steals away the life of a person who has no interest in hearing Krishna Katha, which means we have great interest in hearing Krishna Katha. We understand the fact the rising and the setting of the sun just steals away a person's life. We are not such kind of people. We want to hear Krishna Katha. We have liking to hear Krishna Katha. So please speak Krishna Katha. Right? The essence of these verses, this is what is spoken as an essence that was happened. This is spoken. This is the sort of meaning that our Acharya brings about to help us understand the point that, see, you have asked this question, and in a similar fashion, our dear Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukadev Goswami the same question. Hope you are able to understand the point, dear devotees. What is the, sorry, are we good? Okay, we have 5 more minutes. Okay. How am I going to, am I visible? Okay. All right. So the 4th verse, let's go to the 4th verse and complete it with the 4th verse. Knowing his impending death, giving up all the actions of dharma, artha and kama, he became firmly fixed in prema to Krishna. So again, Parikshit Maharaj is, so you need to understand this verse also as in a way that Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakura says, okay? So our Acharya is saying, understanding he was going to die, giving up all the material activities, he attained firm prema. So you see, this is the punchline here. See, the most essential part is the word gataha. Gataha means he attained. Drida gataha means he firmly attained. Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakura is saying he became firmly fixed. You see, he attained firm prema, which means he already had prema. That's the point our Acharya is trying to say. He already had prema in his heart, and now what he is drida, he's getting that drida firmness, that firmly fixed. He already had firm prema. He already had prema, and now it's just becoming firmer. It's becoming more and more. Parikshit Maharaj, one may say, oh, he's only performing this Trivargika karma, right? It's Dharma, Artha, Kama. Because as a king, that is what he would do. But a very important point that our Acharya is trying to say here is, obviously, that our Parikshit Maharaj was performing that just for Loka Sangraha, nothing more than that. Just for Loka Sangraha, he was performing whatever needed, or whatever duties needed for a king. But any moment, if you look at Parikshit Maharaj, his the devotional service was never interrupted, right? This is the point here, devotees. We saw, right, for a pure devotee, for him to be called a pure devotee, the devotion should never be interrupted. Pure devotion to the Lord should never be interrupted. Either he can do Shravanam, Kirtanam, all the 9 limbs and the 64 limbs that is talked about in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu continuously, or even though he's performing his so-called Varnashrama Dharma, people may call him a Kshatriya or Vaishya, whatever, but his principle of devotion, if it is not broken, then such a bhakta is also a pure devotee of the Lord. This is the point our Acharya is trying to help us understand, that our Parikshit Maharaj, so he performed this Trivargika karma only for Loka Sangraha. Majority of the people would have thought that he had faith in karma only, but he was a pure devotee at heart. Again, why Loka Sangraha? Because he wanted the people to follow, at least elevate and do Varnashrama Dharma and elevate to the path of bhakti. This is why he stood as an example. He wanted people to do karma, and through that karma, they slowly develop Nishkam Karma Yoga, then get into, understand, okay, a little amount of bhakti can do, because Nishkam Karma Yoga also is not going to give you results without bhakti. Then they understand and slowly give up everything for bhakti. That stage will come when you develop pure Shraddha, you will be ready to give up all the karma activities also, or even if you do karma, you will be detached completely at heart, and you will be performing karma, just showing externally to the world that, yes, I'm doing it, but in my heart, Krishna is always there. Just setting the right example. He was practicing it. He exclusively practiced only bhakti in his heart, and devotion was never broken. And this is how Parikshit Maharaj, he literally gave up completely. There was everything he gave up, because he had no attachment to it whatsoever. No attachment means no faith. And whatever he did, that was just for Loka Sangraha. So therefore, obviously, their practice of Trivargika karma is purely Loka Sangraha purpose. There is no other reason for it. That is why he was able to give up whatever he had immediately. So this is the point which is being talked about in the 4th verse, that he gave up, means at the time of death, if he was attached, he would not be able to give up. But the fact that he gave up indicates he was practicing purely for Loka Sangraha and no other purpose, indicates that he's always fixed in devotion, and that is why he was having no attachment to whatsoever that he took hold of. This is the commentary meaning, dear devotees. With this we will stop for today, and let me ask you any questions that you have related to today's topic, and then we will pause. Vanchakapatarubhyasya kripasindubhyev च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to our acharyas. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Are there any questions?
Hare
comments?
Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much again with your deep explanation and very nice understanding, so we can assimilate better by the way you explain. So we see here that Maharaj Parikshit, he gave up completely, and also, he was in the association of great devotees, so that he could carry on that purity in himself. But if we compare to Bharat Maharaj, who left a home, family, kingdom, everything, but then got attached to a deer, baby deer. So here, this is a comparison we can make between these two. Both were great devotees, both were amazing devotees. But Parikshit Maharaj, since he had association with the Lord, since he was in the womb of his mother, so he carried that till his death. This is the greatness of Parikshit Maharaj, is comparing to others. Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Nice contrast. Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Hare
I
Krishna.
think...
Yes, if there are no other questions or comments, can I request all of the devotees assembled to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra once in glorification of Her Grace Radhika Kasturi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare
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 Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavins ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Her Grace Shri Radhika Kasturi Mataji ki jai. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. See you all next week, dear devotees, and apologize for the late start today. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.